و قتل رساند. حتی رهبرشان نور محمد ترکی اجازه عام و تام داد به همه افراد حزب خود که اشرار به اصطلاح اینا مخالفینشان، اینا چون مارن، هر جایی که بیابین اونا را بکشن.
For a communist, the best Muslim was the one who was killed. Thousands who lost their lives in Afghanistan. Young boys and girls from all over. Prison was just full. Everyday killing. Killing of someone and the excuse that he's a Muslim was easy. Kill him. My family of my wife, lost 16 members, including her father in one night, shot dead by the communists.
You think probably somebody knock at your door and tell you you're next. You go to prison, you know, and you don't know why.
I remember when I was just only in a 4th grade and I was like almost 9 years old girl, that there was a kind of propaganda that if you pray, they will arrest you at school. That was unbelievable that if you pray, you will go to jail.
My husband was a normal teacher in the science faculty. They came to our house and took my husband. They knocked our door and they came in, and it was a group of people who were led by his student. And he never came. I never heard from him.
Oui, j'ai parlé avec des communistes. Mais pourquoi vous avez tué autant de gens? Des gens qui ne pouvaient pas être un danger pour les communistes. J'ai jamais eu une réponse claire. Moi, je pense que c'est une sorte de complexe de tuer un peu tous les gens qu'ils pensaient que c'était contre eux, même s'ils n'étaient pas contre eux.
In March of 1979, the Islamists decided to take the streets against the communist government. They gathered weapons from soldiers who had defected from the army. Their leaders came back from Pakistan. An uprising began.
ما مجبور شدیم راه مقاومت مسلحانه را انتخاب کنیم. چاره جزئی نداشتیم. عکس‌های ما هم در همه افغانستان پخش شد. برای دستگیری ما جایزه وضع کردن و حکم غیابی اعدام ما هم صورت گرفت. مدتی را ما در همین حالت سپری کردیم که اگر در یک موتر و بس هم می بودم دیدم که پلیس وارد شدن و عکس ما هم در دستش، همه را تفتیش کردن و پایین شدن. مردم یکی پای دیگری به صفوف مقاومت بپیوندن و با یک قیام سرتاسری ملی مواجه شد.
حکومت ترکی نابود باید کردن. جمهوری اسلامی ایجاد باید کردن. حکومت ترکی نابود باید کردن.
Today it might be us, but tomorrow it will be you. You will suffer just as much as we have.
Long live Quran! Long live Afghan! Long live Islam!
Zindabad Islami Afghanistan! Murdabad Communism! Murdabad Liberalism! Zindabad Hizb Islami Afghanistan! Nare Takbir!
اکثر مناطق را ما تصرف کردیم. قطعات اردو یکی پی دیگری به ما پیوستند و ما بر بخشای عمدی اطراف کشور مسلط.
The government in Kabul was crumbling. Taraki asked Moscow for help with the insurgency, unaware that its chief enemy was his own right hand. In autumn 1979, Amin did something that shocked everyone. He ordered the assassination of Taraki. He wanted power for himself. Once he became president, Amin even commissioned a film in which he acted as the real father of the revolution. Afghanistan was out of control and close to falling into the hands of the Islamists.
ما آخرین ترتیبات خود را می گرفتیم که اقدام آخری بر سرنگونی حکومت افضل‌الامین برا بیفته.
In Moscow, the Soviet leaders worried. They feared the Islamist revolution would prevail in Afghanistan like it had in Iran earlier that year. Afraid of repercussions back home, where 50 million Muslims lived, and certain that the Americans would exploit the Afghan chaos, Brezhnev decided to act. In December 1979, Soviet troops entered Kabul. Their mission was to kill President Amin and restore order.
Soviet troops have been arriving in increasing numbers since early December. Then, on Christmas Eve, the arrivals increased dramatically. For 2 days and nights, Soviet planes landed at Kabul airport, bringing an airborne division of around 6,000 men. Helicopters, too, landed in front of the astonished gaze of airport passengers.
It was a whole week when planes were coming non-stop. There was noise in the Kabul sky.
Я скажу, сама операция, вот, которая называется «Штурм дворца Амина», но она была достаточно глубоко засекречена. И 27 числа спецподразделения ГРУ и КГБ штурмовали дворец. Вот. Тут загремели выстрелы в 19 часов 27 числа. Амин-то был убит уже в ближайшем моем приближении. Я его не видел сам. Была ранена его жена, там дочки. И после этого Амина завернули там в ковер, это увезли. Это первый бой мой, как командира роты. И вот вошли войска. Они же не вот встали там в Баграме, они по всему Афганистану.
As a goodwill gesture toward Afghans, the Soviets released all political prisoners. People in Kabul rushed to the prison to reunite with their relatives.
Word had spread the Soviet military was releasing political prisoners detained by President Armin. Soon, crowds were streaming in from all directions. Everyone was a friend or relative of a detainee, and their numbers gave ample evidence of the severity of the former president's rule. In fact, it's estimated that as many as 10,000 political prisoners were released in a single day. Among the joy, though, there was tragedy for those who didn't find the relative they sought. For this woman, it was her husband.
Vous êtes ici depuis combien de temps?
Oh, depuis il y a 19 mois.
19 mois?
Oui, 19 mois.
Ça a été dur?
Oui, c'était très dur.
Vous êtes heureux?
Maintenant, oui, je suis très heureux parce que je suis né.
Oui. Vous avez retrouvé votre famille?
Oui, peut-être parce qu'il y a 19 mois, je n'ai pas vu ma famille.
Oui.
Je n'ai pas né mes enfants, ma femme. Peut-être ils sont changés maintenant, ou ils sont quelqu'un mort, quelqu'un malade, je ne sais pas tout ça.
At first, Afghans tolerated the Soviet presence, but soon they realized the troops had no plans to leave the country. They had come to stay. Afghans could not accept a foreign occupation. Like their ancestors, they weren't afraid of making a stand against the invaders.
There was a lot of protest, including the protest that I participated personally, and my sister participated, where a lot of people came to the street and a lot of people were shouting Allahu Akbar at night. It was 3 nights that you would feel that the whole city is moving, because it was, everybody was on top of the roof and they were shouting Allahu Akbar.
We saw Soviet soldiers on the street, and this was too much for the people of Afghanistan. In that time, really, I said, no, it's time for me to leave this country. This is not my country anymore. It was a very hard decision. I never wanted to leave Afghanistan. I loved Afghanistan. But the wind of war changed everything.
وقتی که نیروهای شوروی وارد افغانستان شدن ما آمادگی کافی داشتیم. تعداد زیادی از مجاهدین مسلح و مناطق زیادی هم تحت تصرف ما.
I was doing my PhD in India. I was so happy that I will do my PhD and I will be called Dr. Masood Khalili, in my family the first. One evening I received a call. What you do, son? I'm doing my PhD, Dad, and I'll be called Dr. Masood Khalili. Did you hear that the communists took over? Yes. While your people are fighting for freedom, you do your PhD? Do you love your land? Yes. Your home? Yes. It's under occupation? Yes. No, son. Join your people. Fight for freedom. Get your PhD from the mountains of Afghanistan, from the University of People. After a week, I was in the mountains. Thanked my father that he told me to join the Liberation War. And I helped my people when I was young. I loved this country when I was 7, and I love this country when I'm 70. Love does not need logic. It needs sacrifice. I was in the mountains of Nuristan. The roads were controlled by the Soviets. I went with my donkey. It was new for me, going not by a car, but with a donkey. Bombardment.